Okay, everybody, at this point, we are finishing up our photo montage. We have our entire video edited, cuts, transitions, effects, everything's ready. 10 pieces of text at the end for Premiere. This is just a basic timeline to demonstrate the adding of audio. So don't worry that mine is not done. First, I am going to find my first song. I am going to click, hold, drag, and drop it directly on A1 on the timeline. This allows me to then have my audio here, and we are going to be able to do some manipulation with it. The recording. Okay, so we have our song on the timeline, and now what we're going to look at is two things. We're going to try to figure out a good start and a good end so we can make our cut. And then we're going to lower the audio into an acceptable level. So I'm going to listen to the start. It has a built-in fade in, so I don't really have to add a transition. Now I'm going to try to find a good spot where a verse ends, where I can kind of cut. So I'm going to listen. So right about here. All right, so at that point, I'm good. That part of the verse ends. I'm going to then just take my razor blade tool. I'm going to go right to my playhead and make a cut. And I go back to my selection tool and I delete this. Okay, now the last thing I have to do with this song is I got to listen to it and see if it goes above a distorted level. So back at the beginning, we talked about red being distorted, even high yellow. But I really like my music right about here, -6, -9, -12 in this area. So I kind of look through. You can scrub through and see. I don't really have much, but I do see some ones that are going above -6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click the item, and then I'm going to come to Audio Clip Mixer. Okay, Audio Clip Mixer has one level of audio. We have one line of audio. We have one line here. 0 is the starting point. I'm going to lower it just about 2 decibels. So somewhere in between 1 and 3. And then I'm going to go back to my song. And it looks like now I'm below -6. I'll check another area. Looks good. If you see areas where it's higher or heavier, go check them. All right, so my audio is out of the red and out of the orange and high yellow, and it's just in the top of the yellow. It's a song, so you do want it kind of loud. All right, so at this point, I'm going to grab my second song. My second song is going to go on line 2. I'm going to drop it here close to the end of my first song. And the reason I do this is because I am going to blend the two together. So at this point, I come here to the start of song 2, and I'm going to kind of zoom in so I can see what's happening. So what I want to do is I want to have a transition to slowly fade out song 1, and then I'm going to slowly bring in song 2. So here, I go to the Effects tab. I open up Audio Transitions. I open up Crossfade, and there's 3 of them. I'm going to use Exponential Fade. I'm going to click it, drag it, and put it right here at the end of the song. Okay. I'm going to mute with the M right here. I'm going to mute track 2. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so I can see more of this. And I'm going to listen again to the ending. Okay, it's a quick fade out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on the fade, and I'm going to make it 300. I'm going to make it 3 seconds. I'm going to do a 3-second fade out. So, perfect. All right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute line 1, unmute line 2. and I'm going to listen to the beginning of my second song. Jumps in decently quick, but that's okay because I'm going to transition it with 3 seconds also. So I'm going to take my exponential fade. I'm going to drop it right here at the end of my second song. Sorry, I'm going to drop it at the beginning of my second song, double click, and do 3 seconds. Now I'm going to turn back on track 1, and I'm going to give a listen. Oh man, I'm pretty good at this. Maybe one day I'll teach it. So at that point, you see me fading out, and then the second song is fading in, and it sounds really good. Let's listen one more time so we hear it. With you. And then it comes in. So it's really nice. Okay, good. So at that point, I'm going to open it back up again, and I'm going to come here to the end. But what I need is I need a good spot to fade it out. So I want to kind of hear if there's a good break for me, like verse-wise. Okay, so I'm going to cut right about here. Take my razor blade tool. I'm going to cut. I'm going to go back to my move tool or selection tool with the V. And then I'm going to take a look. But I'm going to zoom in again so I can kind of see. And I'm okay with a little bit at the end. Okay, I could even add a slide or something. But I kind of see. Oh my God, Karishma. I've seen Imagine Dragons like 6 times or 7 times in concert. They're incredible. I've seen 21 Pilots more, and they're better. But Imagine Dragons, I saw them at a show with like 3,000 people, maybe 2,500 people. And I was about like 4 or 5 feet from the stage. It was incredible. It was just awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my transition on. And I'm going to kind of, again, take a look. I'm going to do 4 seconds to begin with because I kind of see that I'm going to need it to come here. Maybe looking at that, how about I try 5 seconds? I want to get some at the end, even though I'm going to, which work. Sorry about that, guys. We had to have a little classroom tangent where I told a story. Okay. So what I'm going to check right here is I'm going to listen to the end and listen to my fade out. Nice. If I wanted to, I could put a small little graphic in here that said the end or something, whatever I wanted. But a second or two after the photo montage ends, if you're fading your music out, you are completely fine. All right. So last thing we need to do now is we need to tone down this second song, because I could tell when I was listening to it, it was all the way up in the red. Watch. All right. So I double click. I go to audio clip mixer. This one I can already tell with it being up in the red. I'm going to take it down to a -4 right away. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to check it out. Still, I can hear the distortion. So I double click it again. I go back to audio clip mixer and I'm going to lower it to -6, just around there. I'm going to give it another play. There we go. A little bit of crescendo. That's all right. Because I understand that music is going to have some bursts. But what I don't want is starting at a level that is already distorted and then distorting more. That's what I don't want to see. So we just want to make sure that we're getting that and doing that right. Okay. So at this point, I am ready to go and I am ready to export my song. I'm sorry, export my video.